So Rich, let's take a moment and go over your formulation for Energy in Focus. Obviously, in the marketplace, there's just a glut of energy drinks. They're everywhere. And I think what's fascinating is the vast majority of people know that those products are not exactly healthy for you, but they take them nonetheless. And the ability to bring to the marketplace a product like Energy in Focus that gives you what you want and is physically good for you, I'm very proud of that as our company, and obviously what you've put together. If you would, let's go point by point through this product and what you've created here.
Well, I think that people really feel the need to keep their lives moving along, and there's the pace of the world anymore is very quick, and people need more energy. There's a lot of need for boosting energy levels. Unfortunately, I think there are a lot of products that do it in an unhealthy manner, and that's one of the real hallmarks of Energy in Focus, is that we support the body's own production of energy rather than squeezing energy out of the adrenal glands, making the body feel more energetic, produce more energy. And in fact, what happens is over a long period of time, or sometimes a short period of time, it overwhelms the body's capacity to produce energy, and consequently we go through cycles, up and down, crashes, if you will, and ultimately just fatigue, where we feel like if we don't have something to help us with that squeezing of energy out of our bodies, we are just not going to be able to perform up to the level that we want to perform. The best way of accomplishing an ongoing and sustainable energy is to work in conjunction with what nature has built into our system. And that is to support the energy producing pathways of the body and do it in a very scientific way that incorporates, again, established science, but also cutting-edge science that we have at our fingertips, new information that we have.
Well, let's start right there then with our Dare to Compare sheet again, looking at our products versus, Red Bull, 5-Hour Energy. Those, they're fairly consistent in terms of the undesirable ingredients that those companies use in their products. Let's start there. What would you say about that?
Well, I'd say that, first of all, for Energy in Focus, we have no undesirable ingredients in the products. All of them are proven safe, proven effective, proven to work very nicely in conjunction with our human physiology. We don't put artificial colors in. We know that artificial colors have a lot of downside to them. We don't use glucuronolactone, which a lot of energy drinks use. Although there's not a huge downside to it, we do know from a scientific standpoint that actually slows the velocity of blood flow through the brain. Not exactly what you're looking for in an energy drink. The impact on physiology is not a positive one. You have preservatives in some of the liquid forms. The 5-Hour Energy with the sodium benzoate potassium sorbate combination. We know that in solution that you can get some carcinogenic chemicals that are formed as a result of those preservatives in the liquid matrix. Definitely don't want to do that. Mm-hmm. These are nutritional products that we're producing. We want them to be as absolutely healthful and impactful as possible.
Okay, now let's piggyback off of that, and that kind of leads into sugars, and obviously what people are looking at sugars. But it appears to me anyway that so many of these energy drinks are just almost syrupy in nature, and I've seen athletes and people carry around these 16-ounce energy drinks that are just, again, full of sugar. Talk to the role of sugar in those products as opposed to ours being sugar-free.
Sugar will give you an immediate burst of energy. There's no question about that. Sugar will get into the bloodstream fairly quickly and give you that sensation of energy. But what happens is you get the insulin response. So all of a sudden that sugar that has been giving you a little boost in energy now causes a crash in energy levels. Along with the other downside of sugars, such as the inflammation that it can cause within our physiology, not a positive thing for our long-term health. By having a sugar-free formula, we have one that helps the body sustain energy, but does it in a very smooth and level fashion, which is the most desirable way that we can possibly function.
Another common denominator in all the energy drinks that I have looked at is some sodium. What role does sodium play in energy drinks?
Well, sodium is important for what's called the sodium-potassium ATPase system, which is a system for energy in the cell. It's a means of the cell controlling its liquid volume and its pH. So very important for the functionality of the cell. Small amount is definitely needed. Large amounts, not needed. And certainly in our diets, Western diets, we have a lot of sodium, and so it really isn't necessary to give an abundance of it in an energy product, but a small amount will help that product work better.
And along those lines too, I know the consistent theme of energy drinks in general has been the incorporation of B vitamins. And obviously we have a very healthy dose here. How do we distinguish ourselves with our B vitamin formulation?
The B vitamins are very important for the three major energy pathways in the body. And so, as I said up front, what we're trying to do with this product is not squeeze energy out of the body, but help the body, help support the natural processes of the body in producing energy. And those B vitamins are very crucial in the pathways that produce energy. So we have put in the proper amounts, put them in the proper balance to get the right energy levels that we're looking for, to get the body to function at its peak level.
And is that necessary because we're not getting an adequate amount of B vitamins out of our daily diet?
Absolutely. Our diets are missing a lot of key nutrients, and the B vitamins are often overlooked, neglected, and are not at the levels that are going to produce optimum health and optimum energy levels.
Going back to our Dare to Compare chart, then let's look at the minerals and the trace elements, because to me it's the little things that we do so well in our company with your experience in formulation. So let's look at the minerals and trace elements and their effect.
Well, we include zinc and copper because they're very important in our natural protein-based antioxidant systems that the body produces. And when we're creating more energy, we're more active, we produce more free radicals. So we want to be able to dampen those with free radical quenchers, antioxidants. And so we support that. We include potassium in there to balance it against the sodium that's included in there, again, for the energy production, for maintaining the proper pH in the cell, the proper fluid balance, which is important for bringing nutrients into the cell and bringing waste products out. Probably the most crucial of the minerals that are included is chromium, which is very important for maintaining normal balance of blood sugar levels. Works in conjunction with insulin to help maintain proper levels of blood sugar.
And are these nutrients that you're describing, are they pretty much absent in other energy drinks?
They are absent in virtually all other energy drinks.
Well, let's move on down the line now and look at neuroactive compounds. I mean, that sounds scientific. Explain that.
Neuroactives are a group of compounds that are either function as neurotransmitters, those chemicals that enable our nerves to communicate with our muscles, or are the building blocks for those neurotransmitters. So we include taurine, which is a neurotransmitter in and of itself and is very important for brain function as well as cardiac output. Being an amino acid that makes up a large part of what's called the free amino acid pool in the brain and the heart because it's an important neurotransmitter. We include phenylalanine as a precursor to the compounds, the catecholamines, adrenaline and noradrenaline. Everyone knows adrenaline is what gives us that feeling of, fight or flight, that burst of energy. We also include choline, which is a building block for acetylcholine, which is one of those messengers, those neurotransmitters that allows the brain to communicate with muscle. So we fully address that group of neurotransmitters so that we are feeding the system everything it needs to make those compounds.
I think one of the elements to energy drinks, again, that is consistent is caffeine. And I hear some companies, they talk about natural caffeine, which is what we use in our product here. Would you address that and the role that caffeine plays in our energy drink? Because it's a very complex formula. Again, people I think can see it's very nutritional in nature, and yet caffeine does play a significant role. What is that role?
Well, we do use a natural caffeine in Energy and Focus, and we use it in an amount that's equivalent to about a cup of coffee. So not an excessive amount. And caffeine, while in the past has been vilified, really has been vindicated by science over the last 10 to 15 years as an important compound for helping the body feel more charged, by allowing the nerves to release a neurotransmitter, which gives us the sensation of energy. It also gives us a clarity in thinking. There are several other benefits to caffeine. In fact, one of the probably most important ones is that it helps the body utilize fat stores. So whether it's being used as a means of helping us take off some excess stored fat, or whether it's being used as a compound that enables that access to stored fat to be burned as energy, caffeine is a very vital part of the formula. But again, it needs to be at an amount that is not going to be ridiculously high, that's not going to cause any problems, except for the most sensitive individuals. And those individuals should not be consuming any caffeine-based products anyway. Caffeine is probably going to be found in every energy drink that you find in the marketplace, and rightly so.
Well then, with the incorporation of everything we've covered so far, including caffeine, the next item on our Dare to Compare is energy pathway support and compounds. And again, that's what's so unique about this product, is the complexity of what you've put together here. Give a brief explanation of how that works.
There are three major energy pathways in the body, as we have discussed before. And by supporting those pathways, by giving them the substrate, the material that they need to burn to produce energy, by providing them with those cofactors or supporting factors that are necessary to catalyze the energy producing reactions, we optimize the body's ability to produce energy. Again, not squeezing energy out of the adrenal glands and forcing the body to produce a non-sustainable source of energy, but rather supporting the body's natural processes and doing that on an ongoing basis for a nice, smooth energy level that is sustainable.
So in a sense, just assisting the body in that natural process.
Absolutely.
Well then let's just move on to getting toward the end of our Dare to Compare sheet, the antioxidant support. A word most people are familiar with, where they really understand the mechanism of it at all, I'm not sure, but give us your understanding of antioxidant support and its role in our Energy and Focus.
The more energy we produce, we're going to do something with that energy. And generally, that'll translate to more physical activity, more mental energy being expended. When that occurs in the body, there is more free radical production. And as those free radicals are formed, inflammation can occur in the body. So an important thing is to prevent that inflammatory process from having an impact, a negative impact on the body, and quenching those free radicals. And that's the purpose of putting in the mixed carotenes, the vitamin C, the vitamin E. These are nutrients that help to neutralize free radicals, to make them less reactive so that we don't end up with as much inflammation as we're more active, as we're producing more energy in the body.
All right, moving on to the last compartment in our Dare to Compare sheet. As if that formula wasn't rich enough the way it is, you also incorporated adaptogenic herbs. I'd like you to explain to the consumer why you put that in this formula, and again, the role that adaptogenic herbs have.
Adaptogenic herbs, adaptogens are a group of compounds, a group of herbals, botanicals, that help the body to adapt to stress. And stress can come in many different forms, and certainly an enhanced energy and enhanced activity level of the body is a stressor on the body. So we've included rhodiola and centella, or gotu kola, in the formula as a means of supporting that activity, supporting that increased functionality of the body. Both of those botanicals are antioxidant. A lot of the information that we have regarding rhodiola has come from our Russian colleagues, the late Dr. Nikolai Volkov, and a member of the board for Wilderness Athlete, Dr. Vladimir Oleinikov. And we know that rhodiola is cardioprotective. It helps the body utilize oxygen more appropriately. It helps increase work capacity of the body. Gotu kola, Centella asiatica, also antioxidant, also is very protective and enables a sustained activity level without a crash type effect. So very much complementary to all the other constituents that are in Energy in Focus in terms of supporting energy production naturally in the body, and to offer the protective effects that a number of nutrients can offer to the physiological processes that are producing energy.
So Rich, looking at this formula based on our Dare to Compare sheet here, am I correct in saying that this is a healthy, nutritional energy drink?
Absolutely. That's only a sliver of the energy drinks that are in the marketplace that you could actually say that about. That they're healthful, they're supporting the natural processes of the body rather than just going for the impact of the energy and depleting the resources of the body. So Energy in Focus is a building product, it's a supportive product, it's a healthful product in terms of getting the best energy production, the optimized energy production from the body that we can.